open this single image, and then what I'm gonna do is go to the window. Oh, actually should be on the right hand side, but let's go that. Let's go window to make sure that you have these channels. Where's channels? Okay. In some situation, it's on the side of the layers. Okay. But on this one, all right, and click red. Okay. We switch back to V, and then click the RGB so we can see the picture. But at the same time, we can change it. So we can do this one. You remember the last portion? That's how the things work. So basically, those three types of color being very accurate to project at the same time the grayscale image. Okay, so in this case, we offset those harmony relationship, and so we see the distortion of color. Okay, so that's how those work. So basically, that's the three layers of pictures, color images. Okay, red only show the red image, as you can see there. Okay, RGB. Okay, so you may say, well, that's just too many information. You don't have to remember. You just know this is two basic concept of adjustment picture question. Oh, I think you convert this one as a gray image. So let's do that.
Yeah, so click on V. On red. And then click on the little box above. Like this little box right here.
This one?
No, just like the little box. Like you have
Oh, yeah,
boxes
that
above. Yeah, and then V and drag.
Drag.
Yeah, photo. Oh, just on the photo.
Like that? Wait.
Like V and drag. So V and
Oh,
drag on the photo. Not just that. No, the photo.
Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Let me show you how
He says V.
Okay. In some case,
Yeah.
okay, I found this. In some cases, your image may look like a grayscale. So there's no way to see the channel. So you only have this gray channel, in this one, like that. So if that happens, you can just simply change the, bring back. Okay, so just simply go back to image mode and change this one from grayscale to RGB. Okay, RGB or CMYK. So basically, it's the way for the computer to calculating this image. Okay, to understand this image. So most time we're using RGB and CMYK. So CMYK is mainly for print image, but nowadays more workflow is good on RGB also. So CMYK is kind of more like a creative mode, just using RGB for 99% of our workflow. Okay. Oh yeah. So we have that. Just go turn on the visibility. At the same time, we have adjustment for the different layers. Oh, so this one okay, so there's some little bit details because it's not a standard, way to using RGB channel. Most of the time, the software is designing for you to do enhancement or making things beautiful. Okay, so what the method here we actually would do is kind of like a little bit damage the picture to create some possibility. So let me show the some possible problem. Okay, so the first one will be when you open directly, you got a layer. In this mode, the channels cannot be offset. Okay, you have a layer 0 or something similar in the F7 panel, layers panel. You want to go right-click and find this one to flatten image. So this one will give you a background layer. So you see this difference, right? So this is currently is background. So in this mode, we can offset. We'll be able to offset this picture, those channels. Okay. All right. So let's everybody start with the same picture. Okay. So we're going to give you more ideas, more round of information of understanding this message. So we're towards more art direction now. Okay. So I have a picture in Chrome in Dropbox page. The very bottom, not the very bottom, is here. We have this beautiful picture here. So let's just try to use this one. Right click, copy image, back to Photoshop, Command N, create. Okay, so have this one picture. So let's have this picture there. Okay, so in this channel, okay, so if you say go back to the channel. We got this picture. Let's go to the channels, okay, and select any of the channel, like for example R. Okay, we need to turn this one back. Okay, so we can see the whole picture when you adjustment it. Okay, so basically click any of this first, and then check the eye of RGB, and now you can move it. So, but when you move, this one happens. So it could not move because. What's because this is all the mask channel adjustment need a solid single layer background. Okay, so the way to ensure you have this is right click and the flat image. Okay, so this is a very useful technique. So just have one single page with we call it backgrounds. Layer 0 didn't work. Okay, for this technique. Okay, background. We need a background. All right. So basically is no layer mode for a single picture. When you open that, should show as background. And now you can go back to channels. I'm going to move this, for example, blue, and to offset the blue, and change the green. Okay, so I can also change the size of this information. So it's a little bit different method. You need to do a selection. So Command A for a single layer, and then Command T. Okay, so we can rotate. It's a size different than basic transform. Okay, so let's try this one. So you see the so many different layers. Okay, let's try this one out. So with the method here, let me do this. Okay, so let's start with here. So if everybody, you'll be able to go to channels, select any of the channels, okay, and move it to create some change. Okay, so now what I want to do is I'm going to change this. For example, I want to rotate the green channel. So how we can do that? When you hit the Command T, it just don't work, right? Didn't work. So what we want to do is we're going to create a selection first. So Command A to create a selection, and then you can Command T. It's A and T, right? So Command A, Command T, so you can make a selection. Okay. Or in some cases, say I want to just do a quick selection like a special shapes, and of course you can do this. You can do using L for the laser tool, L, and just draw the parts you want to include into your picture, and then Command T. Okay, so you can move to a certain space and rotate. Okay. Those things you can do quite a lot of times. So for example, I'm going to make this more art now. So what I'm going to do is just Command A, just hit L on certain layer. For example, I'm working on the red layer, red channels. Okay, I hit L and just kind of select some area, and then Command T, move it. Okay, and then I can rotate. Yeah, and Command D to deselect. So let's do that. Command T, and Command D to deselect. So that's some method. So let's try to experience this. Okay, do something. Yeah.
How did you get this circle?
We are working on this.
Command A, Command T, and Command T.
Command J, Command T, and Command D.
Are you looking for the laser?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna go selection first. So click on the laser, and then you can.
Which one's the laser?
It's this one.
And if you want to do it again, you just select the layer.
And you can also rotate, change shapes.
Then
and
Command A,
there are
Command
a lot of options.
Command
When
T,
you're done, just
Command
Command
D.
and the Command D to decide it.
Alright.
The best way to do that. Yeah. So this one of the things will give you a very cool start point when you want to do some art piece. Okay. Command A is for move the whole thing. So, but in this case, what you can do is, for example,
So,
this part.
oh, there we go.
Just like this part. So I hit L.
Oh, I think we had
This part. Okay, and then Command T. Translate.
How do I?
Yeah, this one, sometimes the result is just, too low. But, there are some opportunities there to create a nice background, a pretty cool way looking image. Okay. So after this, you can try to jump in between different color mode. So what you can do is different color profile. So now we are working on the CMYK, RGB, but if you go to the image, switch the mode to CMYK, you can do more classical way of offset print, like the Andy Warhol or some early artists, like the 50s, 60s. They don't have a computer. What they do is have a different screen for color print. Okay, so CMYK is the inks they are using at that moment. So basically for print, you need a CMYK 4 panels, 4 screens to do that. So you just change it to CMYK. Okay, now you check the channel. You got a new possibility there. So you can move this one in CMYK mode. Okay. So this one channel become a C, and this one become Y, and a black channel. So there are some possibilities. You remember last time we did the color halftone, okay? You can actually apply the color halftone effects for a single layer. So for example, in this layer, I have a cyan color here selected. I will just go select cyan color and then turn on the CMYK visibility, and then just go to the filter, pixelate, color halftone, and just using default setting. So I get a nice color reproduction point. You know, the screen represents this
Can you
layer.
do that again, please?
Okay, yes. So what I'm do is let's see. That would be an option. Okay, I'll try to find it. So just go in the channel, select sign color. Okay, turn on all the CMYK visibility, but have the sign color selected. Okay, and then just go to filter, Pixelate, and then the color halftone, and just apply it. Okay, using default setting. Okay, so I got that. So from this moment, you can create some works very to create this beautiful screen settings. You will see this. It's very nice screen dots, right? Screen grid. Okay. Again, the CMYK mode is quite limited, so there are not so many control can have you to play. Let's see, this one will work. Yeah, actually this one should, for this method it should work. So, for example, in this case, I'm going to continue using the techniques. Is hit L and draw a selection area. Okay, and the V, move it to do an offset a little bit. Okay, and then in this case, I'm going to try to give you some cool direction. For example, if you command T and right click and warp, and so you can do something like this. Okay, you can warp the image, create some offset. Okay, and then command D. So yeah, let's try to find a different picture and do something to see if you like or not. And you know, those color is looked sometimes is not very useful color, but think about that. You can actually control this color again to give them the same color tone adjustment. So there's no all things are useful for when working with digital image process. Digital image art purpose. Everything on your screen is useful. It could be useful in some way. Sometimes we need to make this a huge, change the scale to a totally different one. Sometimes we just needed to little adjustment. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's see. For example, in this new model, you can using CMYK. In the CMYK, you can using the liquify, but it's not enhanced mode. Okay, so you can also try. So Command Shift X, so you can kind of like work on this mode. We introduced those ideas last time. So, but want to give you a little bit introduce again, so you can remember those very useful techniques. Okay, so give them a little bit more like smooth. Okay, okay, to confirm. Very nice.
Why did it do that? It took all the color away.
It's actually because you're only you need to go back to CMYK to highlight all the channels to start CMYK.
Oh, I see.
So this mode is only immediate working with all layers, all channels. Yeah.
What is the mode called again?
Liquify. So.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm. So let's try to work on this mode and to introduce a little bit of the brush. Again, we, in our class demonstration, we'll more follow the current image. So we have a border, like a guideline, what information will be introduced on certain period of time. But most of the time, you will find something is useful. We try to introduce those ideas again. So to create a more coherent experience. So give you more kind of like a solution for that. Okay. So for this image, what I want to do next is I will make sure that I back to RGB, so which enable me to access most of those color adjustment or image adjustment function, because in CMYK something is just grayish, it's no way to use it. Okay, so CMYK is a very limited mode. The native mode of all the digital image is RGB. So your camera sensor working in RGB, the image camera sensor of your smartphone is working in RGB mode. Everything digitally, native digital image is RGB. Okay, so it's better to use RGB for all the tasks. Okay, so other channel, other mode is for me more. I will more understand it's a creative process. Okay, so they have some technical need to stay there, but most of the time is you can use them very creatively. So let's go just stay with RGB, and in this mode, you can have all the things here available. Okay, all the detailed things are available. So let's try to work with a little bit of brush. Okay, so in this case, I would do Shift. Let's do B. Okay, hit B, and you may want to shift the B several times until you see the mixer brush. Mixer brush. Okay, shift the B. Okay, shift the B several times. You remember we do the pencil this morning, we do the brush this morning, we do the color. We didn't introduce color replacement. It's so simple. And the mixer brush. Okay. So what we do here is, well, you can change the size of the brush, and you can paint on this in this image. Well, let's go start with something will give you a more, we go to the mixer brush on the top control panel, go to the very bottom one, very wet and heavy mix. Okay, so let's try to see what you got. Okay. Okay, so you can put a different brush tips, and you can see you can blend those colors. Okay. So for the brush control is F5 to turn on the brush, and you can change the brush more like some quite artistic brush shapes. Okay, and those looks nice. Details more like a brush tips. So you can go there, and to change the size of the brush is Option and the Control. Hold Option and the Control, click and drag to make this bigger or small. Okay, and then you can just add some. It's more like a brush. Okay, so make them small, and so you can catch some colors. Okay, so a nice blend of some colors to make it more like art. Okay, so you got the digital pen, so this is a nice time to do something with the pen display. Okay, so again, hit the Z for zoom in, hold Z and click and drag to zoom in and zoom out. Okay, so hold Option and Control, click and drag left or right to change the brush size, and then you can draw you know, now where the digital pen have sensitive for the pressure. So if you do a very soft, they just do a little bit. Okay, so if you do very strong, so you will see that details start to reflect, right? Okay, so like that. You know, basically just replace the tips, okay? And you can try the different options. The simple way to use it, just to understand, if you want more mix, you want more very wet and very you know, the very the custom set. But just need a little, you will see that the different result. Okay, you can try it. Okay. Okay. You know, you're still very you can test all these settings. Okay. Sometimes we do this is for us to find a nice, you know, just color palette. For example, I'm a designer and I want to get some colors for my different projects. So I can basically mix some colors. So I can just using to get the color swatches from there. Okay. Okay. Let's just have fun with this, right? So basically, is Shift B, or if you already turn to the mixer brush, once next time when you return, just hit the B. Okay. So it's a little bit save a little bit time. Okay. For some brush, they may look a little bit different at the default setting. Okay. Okay, so you can okay, yeah, some simple brush. You know, have fun with this. Later we'll talk about a more nice, you know, cool way to use it. But now it's just kind of like a feel this. No mouse can do this. You know, it's a kind of like a very free experience, kind of a mix of the color. Okay, so you can concentrate on the small displays. You know, experience those controls. So hit press Z for zoom in and zoom out. Okay, press and hold the space bar so you can kind of a pan what's the precision you want to continue work. Okay, hit B back to the brush mode. So it could be any brush. So you can do Shift B, switch to pencil. So pencil is just a single line, and you can draw some details. Okay, you can draw some nice elements. Okay.